Hello, everybody, and welcome to Esports Wales Weekly, the talk show in which I host, which brings you the latest gaming news, esports news, and of course, Esports Wales news. I am JakeyBoyPro, and joining me today, we have our first guest. He was the Sniper Senpai in the Chicken for Charity event and is one of our marketing managers. It's Baeger.
Yeah, hi all. So my name's Baeger, however you want to say it, really. Otherwise known as Harrison. And yeah, as Jake said, I'm a marketing manager for Esports Wales. My main focus is more on the digital sides, so specifically like analysis, research, website optimization, and everything. And so right now, going forward, what that's gonna translate to for Esports Wales is a lot of number crunching and just making sure everything's perfect so that we can push out the brand to as many places and people as possible. But yeah, it's great to be here anyway.
Yeah, okay. For the second guest today, he is the main driving force behind Esports Wales. He is our founder. We have SlayerJohn.
So, so I'm a founder of Esports Wales. I do a bit of everything now, and sort of just try and keep the ball rolling, and trying to scout out new ways we can sort of improve gaming and esports in Wales.
Okay, for our final guest, he likes to call himself South Wales's best Lucio. He's one of our writers. It's Foukwan.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Foukwan or Josh or LaFrog, depending on what day it is. But yeah, I tend to write about Overwatch for Esports Wales. I've played for the Overwatch team for the last 3 seasons, and yeah, let's move on from there. And I'm really happy to be on here.
So to kick us off, I'm going to hand it over to John. Maybe Foukwan's got a little bit of experience in this, but he's going to talk shortly about the new Overwatch character that is due to come out quite soon.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring up Sigma. Foukwan's going to know way more about this than me. But yeah, Sigma is a new champ coming to Overwatch. I think it's sort of just before the 2-2, and looking to push in the sort of getting that ball rolling with the 2-2 stuff. And this champ is coming in to sort that out and sort of like assist more, and sort of support the game in doing that. I haven't had a chance to jump on the PTR and play him. I don't know if you have, Foukwan.
I actually haven't had the chance to jump on and play something yet. I've been quite busy recently. But
like from what I've seen, he's going to be probably an off tank, main tank. He's got a shield and sort of can move. He can sort of throw the shield out and pull it back. He has sort of a couple of abilities. One of them which can sort of eat projectiles and ults, similar to the Diva Bomb, which sort of it's going to be interesting to see how he plays and what comps he fits in. I find that always with some new champ like this, it takes some like a good sort of 4 or 5 weeks to sort of see where he fits, and then someone will click and go like, "Oh my god, if you run him with this, it just works," and you can sort of see how he goes. I think it's going to be a case of using him and sort of throwing that shield forward to block like your widows and your ashes, those people like sort of hiding away somewhere, where you can throw the shield and sort of then sort of work around corners and things like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how sort of pros will be using him, in sort of Overwatch League and stuff like that. And then sort of hopefully we can pick up a thing or two for our games.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting all of the different heroes that Overwatch do bring out because it seems like they've always got something new and different coming out from them. Always something unique almost every time a new hero comes out.
Yeah, like the sort of character development and things like that. You can see where they're pulling it from other characters, and sort of using those in a different way. I think the sort of he's coming in to try and support this 2-2 setup, which we're going to sort of which we'll have soon. And I think that's going to be the big change for Overwatch, which I'm looking forward to. Excuse me.
I think. Oh, sorry. Well,
No,
anyways, so when it comes to
Foukwan, your camera's frozen, mate.
has it?
Yes.
Well then, one moment.
There you go. You're back. Yes.
All right. Okay. So generally, when it comes to Sigma, he's in that weird kind of hybrid state at the moment where no one really knows if he's an off or a main tank, and Blizzard have got this kind of track record of making heroes to counter comps that they've accidentally made when they've introduced new heroes. So when Brig came about and Goats came about, it was that kind of they then kept nerfing Brig and all this stuff. And it says
Oh, it's broke.
Brig was actually introduced in the first place to counter Dive when Dive was so strong in the kind of early seasons of competitive.
Yeah.
And you keep working from there. And now you've got to the point where Blizzard are introducing kind of 2-2-2 and roll lock. And then in Overwatch League, instead of playing Goats all the time, now in the most recent matches, you've got bunker comps coming out all the time. So Orisa Hog, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel as though Sigma, especially with his ult and how it kind of throws people in the air and the kind of defense matrix style eating of all the damage, which kind of boosts his own shield, he's again countering. It's Blizzard being one step ahead of the game and countering an own comp that they've accidentally created in trying to balance the game more.
Yeah, I think what they've. I think the thing with Brig, and that's the reason why they've gone for the 2-2-2, is they've struggled balancing it, and they've struggled to do that. But I can see, yeah, he's coming in to sort of just change that game. So as you said, it's sort of changing it from bunker cop, and then sort of having that sort of ability to be able to sort of counteract that, and then potentially it'll merge into something else, and then Overwatch or sort of Blizzard are going to come up and sort of introduce something to counteract that again, and always keep the players on their toes, and that's the way they're sort of structuring it at the moment.
Yeah, it's
it's
definitely interesting. It's always nice to see new
well,
new stuff coming out.
Well, yeah, I don't know. For League, I always hate the I always hate the new champions now because you get so many, and it's always struggling to sort of keep up with it. But yeah, no, it's cool.
I mean, do you think like I'm guessing he's in the PTU at the moment then?
Yeah, he's on
Yeah,
PCR.
PCR, sorry, yeah. Do you think, with that said, that there'll be a kind of a lot of changes to how he works and or like the kind of his health and stuff like that before he actually goes into the live version?
I don't think it's going to be massive changes. There might be a few tweaks, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything sort of this big coming. It's this. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, I can't see it being a lot of changes because he does sort of, as Foukwan said, he does counter the sort of bunker comp and
Yeah.
sort of bringing that and does sort of bring in some changes. So I think that's what they sort of want to do, and yeah, they're just going to sort of run with it, see how they get on. But yeah.
Yeah, okay then. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what actually comes of this new Overwatch hero. I'm definitely interested to see what the pros make of him when he comes to the actual proper servers and actually comes into some actual competitive matches.
It's always interesting to see kind of, it's interesting to see like how the really like the top end players kind of find these really creative ways to utilize the new heroes. So yeah, it'll be cool to just see him like on the Overwatch League when the time comes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you get you seem to get this. A new character comes in, everyone goes, "Oh, this like this character doesn't work, or this character works this way," and then someone just figures something out, and it's just like a little. It's like someone working with this, or someone like Orisa Hog. Both of those have been in the game sort of ages, and just now it's getting that synergy of like, or sort of like the last season of sort of playing that well together. And yeah, I can see you sort of building up. And yeah, people are going to find ways to sort of the best way to play him and with the best comp. And yeah, it's going to be it's good to see what people come up with.
Yeah, so the new Overwatch hero is a bit old news now. Sigma, a couple of weeks ago he came out, wasn't it, on PTR? So moving on to a bit more new, up-to-date news. We're going to have Baeger talk about something that I know a lot of people are excited about. It's going to be the COD multiplayer reveal that happened not too long ago.
Yeah, so I was actually really surprised with kind of the variety of different things that they've kind of introduced for the new Modern Warfare. So like one of the main things they showed off was having like completely nighttime maps. And when I say nighttime, I mean like pitch black to the point where people have to wear like night vision. And like if you watch like the gameplay videos, there's like some really interesting kind of quirks, I guess you could say, with that. So like obviously with night vision, you can see everyone's laser sights. So you're just kind of looking out for these lasers everywhere, and it kind of like it changes up the way the team deathmatch works for that. Then they've got obviously they showed off the gunsmith as well. That was very reminiscent of a lot of like Tom Clancy games, I thought. Kind of the ability to like change the weapons like to a really detailed amount. So you can change, obviously, like the
Okay.
barrels, the stocks, the foregrips, sights, and everything in between. They've got like I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's like 7 or 8 different kind of categories, I guess you can change per weapon, something like that. It's quite in depth. I was very surprised. And in terms of like the gameplay, obviously we saw kind of when they first revealed, they revealed that like 2v2 mode a few weeks back, and one of the reactions people mentioned at first was kind of how it looks kind of more hardcore, I guess. Like there's a lot more weapon sway and stuff like that, and along with that, as they've revealed like recently, there's no minimap anymore, so it's more like I think you said, Jake, it's like a PUBG-esque kind of compass. Which thinking about it, I can't think of any. Like, it's quite a common thing in battle royale games, so it's interesting to see that in Modern Warfare, and maybe because they've also announced a game mode with like 100, I think it's 100 players on like in the match, so maybe battle royale is on the horizon as well. I mean, they've done Blackout, so
Yeah, I can see them going down that route. Like at the end of the day, it's more supporting as long as they've got like it doesn't seem like from what they've got already to sort of move down there. I'm sure they could port over sort of some of the stuff from Blackout to sort of have the drops. It makes sense for them to sort of do that and go down the line.
I hate to interrupt, but we've just officially hit 300 followers on the channel.
Woo! Awesome.
Symbolic Tales was our 300th follow. I don't know whether we can do anything for that. But
you got like a little confetti thing we can put on screen.
I wish I had something like that set up, but no.
Nice.
No, honestly, COD Modern Warfare is looking absolutely astounding. And it's the first time that I've been excited about a COD game in so long. The last one I played properly was Modern Warfare 3, I think. So I just can't. I really can't wait for this. I don't know what everyone else is. Is excited.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's like I picked out Blackout, but just didn't have the player base to play it. We played zombies and stuff for a bit and some other stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be like. I think everyone's going to pick it up, and that's what's going to sell the game. Is so many people is going to pick it up. If you jump on, there's going to people be there playing it, and we're definitely going to run some sort of community nights and stuff on there. So if you do like Call of Duty, you're on planning on picking it up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like personally. Oh no, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say personally, I've always been a massive Battlefield fan, and when they announced this, it's called Ground War, by the way. This 100-player mode, and combined with the fact they've got like all these kind of new, more interactive kill streaks. It looks like they've got actual tanks you can drive around now and stuff like that. It's seeming a lot more like a Battlefield kind of game, and that's very kind of interesting. But then obviously, because they've got like the 2v2 mode and everything as well, it seems like they're trying to kind of cater to everyone.
Yeah.
Like there's something in there for everyone.
But yeah, that's good. That's for me anyway. That's like yes, that's what I want because like I very much like as you said, Battlefield Bad Company was mine. Bad Company 2. I loved the Battlefield games. Loved getting like loads of people on and playing. I used to jump on like sort of every other week and be playing in these like massive matches of getting like just people playing together and stuff like that back in the Frags days. And yeah, that was awesome. If we like, and the good thing about it is you can say like you get the people who are playing, your sort of competitive games, and then you're sort of doing all that, and then you can also have it where you go like, right, guys, fuck this, let's all just jump in and have a laugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that type of stuff is 100% behind. I'm like, for this game, it looks like they're doing everything right so far. The price is still a bit high, but it's a COD game. But yeah, I'm hoping everything will go as planned. Hoping.
I certainly think there's an interesting point in the crossplay that they're bringing out on this COD. So kind of crossplay with the Call of Duty is a new concept, if I'm not wrong. But the interesting thing is that the crossplay is input based. So naturally, when it's well known that kind of PC players are better at FPS games because they can, keyboard and mouse is a lot more precise in terms of movement and customization. But in order to play with kind of consoles on PC, you have to be using a controller, which I think is pretty interesting. It's about creating that kind of level play field.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
That
I've
is
seen
really
that done
interesting.
before.
No, I know Fortnite has crossplay, and it actually, if you have somebody that's on keyboard mouse and you say you've only got 3 people in a team, you can't actually get that 4th spot be filled because you've got that cross, and there's a bit of a difference. So I definitely interesting to see that they're making people, in order to play the crossplay, they're making people use a controller because in the, as Foukwan said, it is making it that level playing field.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of some of the COD games have been controller based in the sort of tournaments. So whether they are still looking to going down the route of having tournaments, sort of, well, let's see. Let's see sort of who picks it up. But they might end up going like, well, the tournaments will be held on console, on controller, and then force people down that route, which is a bit sort of, as you said, yeah, it's just a bit fairer and sort of better with the sort of when you're doing that stuff.
Even on these, a lot of the recent CODs, most pros have been playing controller. I think it is mainly a controller game. Like, I've always struggled to get into playing at keyboard and mouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't play Call of Duty keyboard mouse. I don't know what it is with it, but when I was growing up, I always played it on Xbox 360 and PS4 and stuff like that. So I don't know whether it's that almost comfort of playing the game on a controller that makes it easier. But I struggle. I really struggle to get into it on keyboard mouse.
Mind you,
About-
I was going to say until recently, COD has always had a little bit of a trouble past on PC. It's they've had like some problems with input lag in past games and like just not the best optimization. I never played Black Ops 4 on PC though, so they might. I've heard it's better in that, but I think that could be kind of a big part of why it's like not gone down as well with a lot of people on PC, and it's more of a console thing, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've played a few COD games from like Black Ops 1, 2, and both Modern Warfare's on PC. And like Jake, I grew up playing them on Xbox. And they were kind of the difference is that back then, because of the different architectures of different, from a technical perspective of going down that route, they kind of built on very different architectures, consoles and PCs at that time. So it was always a console game first, then you got the dodgy PC port afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Whereas whilst everything's now on like a x86 architecture, it's a lot easier to make a game that kind of applies across the board. That is actually better optimized.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I never thought of it like that.
Well, it's certainly it's very exciting for the future for Call of Duty, because I've got a feeling that this is really going to reinvigorate the series and the whole franchise as a whole. Because I feel like the past few games, although they've sold well, I don't feel like they've gone down well with the audience, so to say. So I feel like this is really going to get some fire going again, and hopefully we're going to see a better. Well, I don't know whether it'll be. I think, have they already announced the next one? Is it gonna? It's gonna be a Blackout. It's Black Ops again, isn't it?
Yeah, there's rumors, I think.
I can't remember, but it looks like it's going to really reinvigorate the series. And unless anyone has any other closing notes on that discussion, I think we might move forward. Anyone got anything? No.
Good.
Okay, so we're going to move on to now some news from Esports Wales. And on Friday night, there was actually a small Esports Wales meetup that happened that John actually attended and basically, well, almost ran, so to say, but it was hosted at Arcade Vaults. And let's have a little chat about that, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, with the Arcade Vault stuff, I think it was a bit late putting it out. I think we mentioned some stuff on stream 2 weeks ago, but then didn't put it out. So we stuck it on Discord. We had about 15 down, which is quite good. They done a fight night. So Bernie Hans, and Chris from Arcade Vaults, they run a sort of Friday fight night. So it was like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and that sort of stuff. So Tekken, I think those are the three, and the 3 tournaments through there. And yeah, it was a good laugh. It was upstairs, like all the way upstairs in Arcade Vaults. We went down Arcade Vaults, played a couple of games as well. But yeah, if you're in Cardiff and you're sort of looking out to sort of play some games, or you've got sort of half an hour or an hour to chill, and you like sort of retro stuff, it's a good one to pop in. they serve beer and stuff. So we were sitting around, we just found a room as well, so upstairs, and we was just chilling out, chatting while watching the tech and stuff. But yeah, it's a great venue, and we definitely try and work with them more to sort of do more stuff.
Yeah, it sounded like it was a really good time.
Yeah, we went to Arcade Vault, and then just as it was closing down, I think like a few of us then went for food. We went to Kong's, so we played some table tennis and had some more beer, and then we wandered around and grabbed some. Oh, sorry, we didn't grab food at Kong's. We went to Gray's and Shed and grabbed some food there. But yeah, it was a good crack. We definitely do more stuff there.
Yeah, definitely. Looks really good.
Yeah. We're probably looking at doing some in North Wales as well, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we can get something up here soon, so I don't have to keep travelling down to Cardiff every time there's a meet. But it's where the majority of the community is based, though, South Wales. So whenever I can afford it and have time to, I'm more than happy to go to a meet down there, because it's always fun and always good time.
Cardiff has got some awesome venues now. So you've got Blong, you've got Token Surf, you've got Arcade Vaults, you've got Kongs, you've got some other bars as well.
Isn't there a new one opening tomorrow as well, if I remember rightly, John?
It's not in Cardiff.
Is it not in Cardiff? Oh.
No, it's in Blackwood,
okay.
Save Point. But the one which is in Cardiff is Emotion VR.
Yep, that's
so
good.
I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but it's like a place you can go for VR experience. Now it's the thing on our website. I'll chuck it into the chat. There we go.
Esports Wales members get a discount. Am I correct?
Yeah. So if you go there, and if you're Esports Wales, if you're on our Discord, or you're wearing some merch like Jake's wearing, you can just show that in there. Just say you've come from Esports Wales, and you'll get some discount. So there's another one which is opened, and we sort of link it in with them, which is quite cool to do that stuff. So yeah, if you're down there looking at that, I'll chat about the. Can we chat about the save point stuff now?
Yeah, you might as well. Might as well.
Yeah. So as well as that, we got the save point opening tomorrow. Now save point's going to be a gaming bar in Blackwood. So if anyone's, I haven't got the. Let's have a look. It's run by Kieran and Sarah. I haven't got the link to the address, unfortunately. But it's on Blackwood High Street. And yeah, it's going to be a sort of a gaming bar. It's going to be some retro stuff, but it's also going to be it's going to sort of cover a lot of like areas of gaming, but that's going to be like the central hub around our village for that, and sort of bring gamers together there. So yeah, I know they're sort of super busy at the moment. They were going to jump on to have a chat, but unfortunately they've got sort of other stuff on. But
well, with opening tomorrow, I'd imagine they're doing all of the last minute prep and everything. So
yeah, but we'll definitely see if we can get some pictures and stuff to show everyone. Maybe stick it on the site and things like that, so that people can have a look, and then potentially do some meetup or something in there as well, so people can have a look, and we can run some other stuff with them. But yeah, it's quite a cool. It's quite cool to see like more of these popping up. And the like sort of gaming and esports getting bigger from that perspective. People are sort of starting to realize like it's another sort of entertainment for people to do it together rather than sort of just saying sitting in the house
online. Yeah,
it's just exciting to have these kinds of places in kind of more spread out as well, because I mean, I know it's great that Cardiff's got so many of these venues, but it's I think it's really good that the rest of Wales now, even if it's just Blackwood, not too far away, but the rest of Wales is slowly getting these kinds of places coming in as well.
Yeah, it seems to be spreading out, and like hopefully like as it sort of expands, it'll sort of, when people start seeing like how these are taking off, it's going to be more of a case of there'll be well, why not do it in our town? Why not have something in our town?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Just need something up in North Wales now. It's a bit empty up here. But yeah, that's no. I'm glad to hear that the arcade vaults went really, really well. I was worried. I wish I could have been there, but sadly, financial is a priority at the minute. But yeah, Missed the first bit. My dash from work.
There you go.
Well, either way,
You just missed the same
yeah,
point.
we were just plugging you, mate. We were just plugging you. You missed it.
Yeah.
But now, moving on and forward, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, there was no show last week. My own reasons, but mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we are now taking part in the 3rd season of the All Heroes Cup. I don't know, John or Foukwan, if either of you want to have a rundown of the results from the first 2 weeks, I don't mind. Foukwan can take it. John's been talking a lot this week
fair enough.
already.
So, hi our team. We managed to win the first week. I believe it was a 4-0 win. So that team includes myself, Shades, Waffles, a few of the people who have been in the first 2 seasons as well, who played then. And it was a pretty good game then, I think. We worked pretty well as a team because we know a lot of each other we know each other already. Sorry, English. Anyways, yeah. Team Tan, not as fortunate, sadly.
We had some tough games. Like we're playing in I think it's like our SR and stuff. It's like but like with you guys, as you said, you played for like 2 seasons now. Like most of you played together for about 2 seasons. Like a lot of us are just coming in and sort of is trying to gel and trying to do that. I can see us improving like game by game, but that hurt, that last one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I cast the last match as well with Shades, and we could see everything from the kind of spectator's perspective, and we could see, and from one of the players told me afterwards, like the communication, you can just kind of sense that there isn't that kind of gelling and that bonding that you get with a team that's played for a long time. So whilst you've got the kind of like individually and mechanically skilled players within each team, it's just about kind of finding that chemistry to really get the wins down.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's hopefully to come off like improving. If there's anyone in chat or if anyone sees this on YouTube and you do fancy joining the Esports Wales Overwatch teams, if you jump on Discord and message someone on there, one of the teams, we'll be able to direct you in the right direction. Sort of next season, then we'll look at sort of potentially having 3 teams. And getting some more teams running and playing in it.
The form is in chat if you would like to apply to be on the Esports Wales team. I've got it all set up. I'm all ready for it.
Ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I'm glad to see that Team Yar absolutely smashed the first game, but sadly Team Tan didn't. So and their second game. But I'm hoping that you can rally the troops, so to say, John, and hopefully push them to a couple of victories this season. After that first season where we were the underdogs coming into it and then coming back to win, and I really hope we can get something out of this one again.
It's just practice, man. Like
yeah, exactly.
Some of the teams, and if we start playing.
Yeah, exactly. And as John did mention before, moving forward, we do have our merch. You can't see it. The microphone's in the way right now. Lovely, lovely merch. As well as that, I do have the usual slideshow. So yeah, there's our lovely merch. Hoodies, t-shirts, jerseys, there's all sorts that we have. If you want to go check it out, the link will be in chat right now. Should be. There it is. And yeah, along with the merch, we are running a giveaway even. Word, English, please. Where's the giveaway scene? There it is. This was updated yesterday, so currently we've had 1,599 entries into the giveaway to win an Esports Wales jersey. So if you do want to get involved in that, the link is in chat for you. Go ahead and enter it, and you could be in with winning one of these beautiful, beautiful jerseys. They are so comfortable. I could spend literally an entire week in this thing, and it'd be so nice. But hygiene and all, they have to be washed. Make sure you smell good. It's all good. Right, so yeah. So what else? What else has happened recently? Not this Friday just gone, but the Friday before, Esports Wales took part in a charity event for Special Effect. And if you don't know who Special Effect are, I'm going to show you a quick video to show you what work they do. Yeah, so that was what special effect do. John has his doggo on stream. Doggo views, get everyone in, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Come and view the Esports Wales doggo. What's his name?
Max, Mad Max.
Mad Max. Oh, perfect. But yeah, on the term of Mad Max, we had some mad driving in the Chicken for Charity event. That mad driving. It was me jumping out of a car, going like 70 kilometers per hour, ending up in me downing myself. But that was always fun. But yeah, we took part in the special effect Chicken for Charity event. It was their second year running it. Esports Wales, as you can see, raised £249. Which overall isn't a lot, but it was what we want. Well, we hit our target, and that's all we could ask for. But yeah, our team of Dad's Army, aptly named, we actually came fourth. We came into this tournament with absolutely no expectations. We had good vibes and everything. Like, we were there to have a good time, but we actually went out there and we performed well, and a lot of people were impressed by what came of it. As I went through after the tournament had finished, I went through all the voice channels that we had in the Chicken for Charity Discord. I think Max isn't happy that he was on stream. I went through all of the different team channels that were in the Chicken for Charity Discord, and I was like, saying GG, thank you to everyone, and the amount of people that said, "Oh, you did so well. It was great to have you here," and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was the first map of Erangel. We had a total of 14 kills and finished in 5th position. So, to come into the tournament and perform that well on the first map, I think we had the 3rd highest kills on that map. It was absolutely insane. The second map sadly wasn't as good due to the plane's path and me making a last decision on where to drop. It kind of ruined us because the zone also then ruined us, and we had to we got pincered between 2 teams. So we ended up going out in 14th on that map with 0 kills, so we didn't gain too many points from that. And due to that map of Miramar being so terrible, I said for Sandhawk, right, we're going to go in fast, we're going to hit them hard, we're going to go and hot drop, and I think we dropped camp either Bravo or Charlie. I think it might have been Bravo. Baeger, can you remember?
I think it was one of the camps.
It was one of the camps, yeah, which is usually in a normal game is a hot drop. You get like at least 4 or 5 teams going to each one. We dropped there and no one was there, and we were like, well, this is anticlimactic. We were fired up. We were like, right, let's get a gun, let's rush, let's get some kills, and then we drop in, no one's with us. We're like, well, you know that John Travolta meme where he looks around?
Yeah.
It was literally like, it's like, where is everyone? So yeah, sadly no one dropped with us, but we finished that map off. Baeger and Welsh Boone actually survived along with me and Alex, bringing up to 8th on that map with a total of 3 kills. And then we moved on to the final map of Vikendi, and again, this went great for us. We ended up with 10 kills and in 5th position. Overall, it was a great event. And yeah, so overall, including our small contribution of £249, there was over £15,000 raised for special effect, including the gift aid. And I was watching the stream after all of the games had finished. It was so inspirational because on the stream I think they just hit like 13,400 or something like that before the stream ended. And it was just so great, and everyone that was involved just seemed so happy. And thank you to everyone at the special effect team. Thank you to everyone that took part to make that entire event a possibility. And we, Esports Wales, are very much looking forward to coming back next year with a vengeance and hopefully getting one of the top 3 spots. We were very close this year, but yeah, we'll be back, and we'll be back with a vengeance. So, yeah, moving on to some general esports news. The Fortnight World Cup. This is a interesting topic for me because, yes, it's a big thing that can pull in a lot of news and a lot of stuff going on. Sorry, I just got very confused with something there.
We'll stick that prize pool on there, and it doesn't really matter for like if that prize pool will carry on being that size. What it's done is it's gone. We can, that prize pool is there, and then all the media has just gone. Wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Like
They've gone nuts about it.
Yeah, this morning, right? But another thing we should have mentioned, I guess, in Esports Wales stuff is in the Esports Wales news is Belong was on TV doing the what's it, the girls' night, is it called?
Yes, the
Yeah.
ladies' night.
Ladies' night, sorry. Yeah, so the ladies' night stuff and getting that sort of doing that as well as sort of that. They had a nice article about that. I turned on TV and then there's something in what's the uni NX is going to?
Staffs.
Staffs. There's something going on in staffs with the Smash Bros tournament, and that was on BBC News. So it's like now it's just gone like everyone's just gone. Holy crap! This esports is a thing, and the reason why it's done that is like those prize pools. It's like like people who are in esports already know like the size of some of the prize pools. They already know the viewers they get, but the sort of general population don't. They don't have a clue what's happening, and sort of until you start seeing this, and then it being in every newspaper and everything, people are turning around and going, "Oh wait, I know someone who plays Fortnite. I know someone who plays that," and then sort of going, "I didn't realize it was that big." And just by sort of having that, even if it was just for the whether or not they can sort of carry on those prize pools, having this one has made a massive difference for the sort of a massive benefit for the esports scene.
Oh yeah, it's like how you said. Yeah, it's not necessarily about the prize pool even, but it's like with the Fortnite World Cup, it's just the fact that how old was the win? I think it's like 16, 15.
15 was
the fact that
the one who won.
yeah, that's it. The fact that a 15-year-old can win $3 million in a video game tournament is what I think the media is what has made the media kind of grasp onto it. It's like,
But-
wow, this is real. Like people can actually, really kind of make a career out of this and everything like that.
But like football, if you're watching a game of football and you see some of the price, the amount of money they spend on players
Yeah.
and things like that, and you see the money they get paid each week is crazy. And some of those are like 19, 20. But now, because that's sort of so just sort of ingrained and just people are just used to it. Someone goes like, "Oh, there was a football player who was paid £1 million last year."
Oh yeah.
You just go, "What is that all he got?" But because it's gaming, it's sort of thing. But it's going to get to the point as it's building, as you get in more entertainment, more people, the viewership's growing. It is going to get sort of thing, and the general population will be more sept into it, which I think is quite good.
I mean, I noticed with the Fortnite World Cup as well. I can't remember exactly how many passed the qualifiers into the actual World Cup kind of stage. But I noticed like the last place got like 50 grand out of it, which was basically just for turning up. So that I would call that basically like a kind of a wage, to be honest.
Yeah.
So a question's just come in from Save Point Wales in regards to this subject. Do you think parents and non-gamers, etc., would be more accepting of Fortnite because of that event, being the Fortnite World Cup, or would it still have a negative stigma? So you do see a lot of, there's a lot of, it's a big controversial subject almost because parents don't want the kids playing on consoles too long. They don't want them playing video games. But now that this has happened, is that going to be much of a difference, do you think? Or
I think it's going to change. It's going to change people's views. It's going to change the general sort of view of sort of what these are and how games are played. I don't think it's going to be if you spend all day on the game. I think your parents are still going to be saying this is bad, and I agree. You should be sort of all these stuff should be sort of within reason. But
within
in regards to
moderation.
in moderation, yeah. But in regards with that, I think they interviewed one of the guys on there, and they were saying like, he comes home from school and he plays for like 5 hours, most nights, and then on the weekends he plays for longer, and that's what he has to do to be the best. And in some regards, that is the case, but as long as sort of you manage the sort of that and you are doing that to be the best, then what's the difference between doing that and something else? As long as it doesn't have any negative effects to your health, which you could say that goes for the same for other sports and other things where you see sort of young, sort of young adults sort of going well into fitness and well into sort of things like that, which are actually getting to a point where it's damaging to their health.
Yeah, you could say that with anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So in regards to that, I think it's just having those and having the tournaments showing that it's not just sort of just playing it and doing nothing. There are sort of end goals, there are careers in it. I think that's going to change the sort of the point of view from the parents and sort of seeing him more as more accepting and more sort of, okay, him doing this might be an avenue for a career. Him doing this might be an avenue for this sort of in the future. Whether it's streamer, whether it's a coach, whether it's sort of goes down a career path with it.
I mean, what I think might help with that kind of thing is, how when kids are at school, they go to like a football club or something like that. If we start to see maybe more like esports kind of clubs, I think that would kind of ease a lot of parents and kind of think, oh yeah, they're going and they're actually doing something proactive with other people. So yeah.
I think that's the thing. Is sort of you have the difference between general gaming, which is like PvE, and you playing, and there's sort of no co-op or anything like that. It's just sort of playing through a game. I think if they see it as that, then you have sort of the isolation and the sort of drawing away, and the parents see that then as you sort of potentially health risks and sort of being antisocial and that sort of stuff. Where when they sort of see this, I think, and see people playing together and see the sort of team benefits and sort of communication benefits you can get from it, maybe that's going to be more accepting as well.
Oh yeah, that's what will do it. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry, it's my bad. I think it's a big culture shock, and it's that kind of difference of cultures between different generations. So I don't think this could have been done. This kind of big news could have been done with anything other than Fortnite, because Fortnite in itself is one of those things that's kind of been in society since it got big for like the last few years. But it's always been that kind of recognizable name for like the parents. They just know their kids play Fortnite. And then so to then kind of associate this thing that my child does with like $3 million or whatever, it's about that kind of combination and how it can start to get the kind of the wheels turning, thinking, okay, maybe this is actually something that's slightly beneficial.
Yeah, like with Fortnite, you look at sort of like it was in Avengers. It was mentioned in Avengers.
Yeah.
With it's like no spoilers. But it's mentioned there. It was I was walking down. Can't remember the shop. This is like B&Q or something. Yeah, I don't know. I was walking down a shop thing, and there's like a massive thing of like loads of Fortnite merch at the end, and I thought to myself there, I was like, I could never even imagine me playing a game back when I was younger, and then walking down in a store and see like just a sort of general store like that, and then seeing loads of like merch at the end of the side, like. But back when I was younger, I'd be probably playing like CS 1.6. And like I don't know what merch, and I probably shouldn't have been playing that with the age instructors. But I can imagine walking down the thing and just seeing like some CS merch. I'd be like, well, what? Who's gonna buy this? But yeah, it's with seeing that you can see how big it's getting, and I think this is just the start. This is going to be a lot bigger, and you're going to start getting where the parents are saying like, oh, my son is playing this or my daughter's playing this. It's going to be a case of them watching them, and you're going to get more viewers because their parents are now watching those games as well, because their sort of son or daughter might be playing in those tournaments.
It's certainly exciting times ahead for esports in regards to the exposure that it's getting to the general media and traditional media. So it's certainly interesting. In terms of merch, I did see an article I think come out today where it's estimated that around £3 million of Fortnite merch, fake Fortnite merch, is on sale on the internet. So that's a mad number of fake merch that's being sold. So if
We
you're
should
looking
have done
into
some EsportsWales Fortnite merch. We've missed it, damn.
if you're looking to buy Fortnite merch, make sure it's legit, make sure it's real. Be careful. Moving forward, it's certainly very interesting to see where it could go. It's definitely interesting. So moving forward, this weekend we had the finals of the ESL UK Summer Premiership for Rainbow Six Siege and CS:GO take place. We saw Team Na'Vi took their second Rainbow Six Siege ESL Summer Premiership victory, beating off Team Secret in an impressive show of class and skill, closing out the final in a tidy 2-0 map victory, not allowing Team Secret to even take a map. The final of the CS:GO Summer Premiership saw Team Endpoint take on War, with the first map ending 16-7 in favour of War. Then the second map heading to triple overtime on CS:GO, which is absolutely insane. You rarely see it these days. Actually, that map ended 25-22 in favour of Team Endpoint. And the final map in the series was Train, ending 16-13, cementing Team Endpoint's third ESL UK Premiership CS:GO victory. So, there's the thing about esports, there's always so many different things going on that it's hard to pick and pull what you want to talk about. So, this being a UK Premiership, I felt was definitely interesting to pull up. Did anybody catch the result of the Cardiff Saints Belong match this week in the Overwatch?
Oh yeah. We should have put that in the thing. Yeah, they won.
They won, did they? Okay,
Yeah,
it's just I was looking for results earlier. I was googling. I was like, can't find anything. Where is this? So I was like, I don't know what to talk. I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, I think they got Preston next.
That's hopefully going to be good.
No, they won. So they're in the
semis now, yeah. Semis now. Oh,
Yeah.
Shades could be on the big stage at I-65.
Good.
Are you feeling nervous, Shades? You are there in chat. You feeling nervous?
I think they've got the next one is the team which won it last year, Spartans.
Yeah, the Spartans in the semis. Oof.
Yeah.
He is nervous.
And it's going to be a tough game. That's going to be the sort of a good one to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so we'll see. See if they get in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Is this that Thursday coming? This Thursday coming, or is it?
Are you asking me or are you asking Shades?
Either. Whoever knows. When is that? When is that game?
I don't know. I don't think it'll be Thursday.
Wednesday.
Normally.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wednesday, sorry. Yeah, well, that's going to be great to watch. I'll make sure to host up the Belong channel because I'd imagine it will be live on the Belong Arenas channel. I think that's all we have to talk about right now. One question did come in. Yeah, one question did come in. It was from Sharix, who was our YouTube manager. He asks, where do you see esports in 5 years from now?
EsportsWales or just esports in general?
I think it's just general esports.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So, John, if you want to start, you're the one who's been doing it for a few years. So.
I would say you're gonna 5 years time it's gonna be sort of slightly bigger. You're gonna have a lot more sort of from the point of view of like stores and things like that. I think you're gonna be a lot more stores and things doing it. It's gonna be interesting to see how the game and Sports Direct sort of move forward. Whether they're gonna have more stores in Sports Direct, because the awkward thing with game is everything in game, or most of the stuff in game now, is like disc-based copies of games. Everything's moving along the lines of it's going to be online.
Digital based.
Things are going to be downloaded and that sort of stuff. So, especially in the next gen, definitely the generation after that, you're not going to really it might not even be downloading the games. It might be just playing live. So they need to change their model, and I think the way they're changing that is going to be more sort of like long stores and sort of slowly getting rid of like the selling of games, and maybe selling other stuff, sort of rather than just sort of having all these games there. I think that's going to change, and we're going to see sort of that move forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see, especially in the next 5 years, some of the big cities. So I would say probably about 3 or 4 extra belong stores in Wales, potentially more, in the next few years. I can see again colleges and unis. Okay, we are looking at doing that, but I can see those picking it up more as well, and that being more of a sort of common thing to do in schools as well as a common thing to do in schools, colleges, unis, and getting those sort of teams for those, and those playing in various tournaments and various things, and getting that support. And as it grows along those lines, you're going to get. You've already got big payoffs. You've already got big tournaments. You've already got a lot of money invested. Whereas you get more and more viewers, you're going to get even more sort of people looking at it, playing it, and the differences with sort of sport, standard sport, is that you sort of, with esports, you're playing it all the time. People can play it all the time. You haven't got that sort of fatigue, or haven't got that recovery period where, like, we were going to watch the Rugby World Cup now. I think it's something like most things can't be played like in a week. So you're looking like it's like 1.5 weeks per game, or might be 1 week per game before they can play again, just to have that time to recover. You don't need that with esports. So you can have game after every couple of days. I think so. You do get sort of tired and that sort of stuff, but it's going to be a lot more entertainment for it, and I can see it sort of going down the route. I also can see in the next 5 years national teams coming in, and someone pushing for like a esports Olympics or something along those lines. Yeah, in the next few years. But yeah, I've talked a lot. I'll let you guys say your views. What do you guys think?
Move over to either Foukwan or Baeger. I'm in the rush.
So I'll go. So this is more what I'd like to see in the next 5 years, but also I think it's very much a possibility. So like the media in general, and kind of like the Welsh government, the British government, they're kind of recognizing the potential of esports, and so I think there's going to be kind of a lot of kind of investment put into esports in that regard to give it a lot more kind of clout. And like I'm calling it now. I think within the next 5 years there'll be, for example, like they'll have like an esports tournament at let's say like the Motor Point in Cardiff, for example. I mean, because you get that now. You get like you get tournaments being hosted live in like Birmingham, in London. I think we're going to see that spread out to a lot more kind of cities where the teams are based. And like John said about like national teams popping up, I think we'll see like a national Welsh team, national English team, and then obviously internationally as well. And I personally, I'd be quite excited for this kind of more regional teams as well, similar to like how the Premier League works, because that's the part I've always enjoyed about sports for me, is like having like a team from your area to root for. And so I think we'll start to see a lot more of that kind of thing in esports as well.
Foukwan, have you got any input?
Yeah, building on what you just kind of said there, and how that kind of expanding into more areas and having kind of home teams as such. You can even see it already in the next kind of stage, or the next season of the Overwatch League, where they've announced these kind of home and away games, where so before, whilst they were called like London Spitfire, and named after all these cities, they didn't really have any, like, they weren't based in those cities. Yeah. So now you're getting this move towards actually having grounded teams which can actually have a local following, similar to things like not actual, because that means that esports isn't actual, but like more traditional sports teams like football and rugby and stuff like that with traditional home support.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going down the route of you'll have a clubhouses as well for those. So like you have a sort of rugby football club. I could see you having not like a Overwatch club, but a esports club, and then it would be set up where you would have like your stage of people playing, and then they would play against other clubs. It's kind of what Blong has, but I can see it being more of a sort of like like a fixed fixture where you would have like more of like an audience as well, like a pub, and you could have like that on stage with the thing.
Yeah, like have a mini view party. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, so but they would be playing against another team, so like it also probably wouldn't be like with esports stuff. It's not like general sports where you have to play when it's light. One of the benefits of esports is you could play it in the evening and things. So I could see esports being more of a thing of like where you would have your football, rugby. It might be like a 7 o'clock game or your esports games, where most people, your viewership would be not really watching your football, rugby because they can't, because it's
Not
too
on.
dark.
Yeah.
So that's when you'll end up like, okay, you do get things with floodlights and stuff like that, but I can see that being more of the general for esports. So you would have like a club or like pub, and you would have where you could all sit around and big screen, and then your 5 on stage, and then they would be linking in with another club around Wales and be playing that way.
Yeah, I think esports does have a lot of room to grow into, and there's a lot of things that can be that can come of the next 5 years. I pretty much agree with everything that has been said. There's not much I can really add. The only thing I will, from my personal point of view, as much as esports is predictable, there's also you have the unpredictable factor of where you don't know what's going to happen next. There could be a small game that nobody had heard of could come onto the scene and absolutely blow up and have a huge esports scene that nobody would have expected from it. So,
one thing I say over the next 5 years, I can see, while I think that happens now, I can see there being more of a fixture with games. Like I understand what you're saying, but like with Apex when that came out, it just blew up. But because there's so many companies sort of invested or will be invested in this, and they're going forward, I don't know if they'll see, even if the player base sort of goes like, oh, I'm loving this game, I can still see in them the prize pools and stuff being like on certain games, because they want to keep the support on those games. They want to keep the sort of the relationships they already have, because by changing a game, you're changing your coaches, you're changing your casters, you're changing your players, and there's so much risk which goes with that. Where if they got fixed things, like you might get someone who could switch over. Good casters could be able to do that, but it's not as simple. So yeah, I can see it being sort of more like a fixture of these are the like main esports games, and then you like a new game that would come on the scene, something like that, would have like a lot smaller tournaments, and it would take a lot longer to build up to be one of those sort of giant games.
I mean, that was always the problem
definitely,
with Halo back when that was kind of a more popular kind of esport. You would, between like Halo 2 and Halo 3, you would see so many kind of gameplay things with the gameplay change, and that would kind of mean, oh, you're basically starting from scratch with this new game, even though it's the same kind of franchise and everything.
Yeah.
Well, certainly a very interesting topic that you can make predictions, but you can never exactly know where esports going to be, especially 5 years from now. Well, God forbid it, but for all we know, esports might not be a thing in 5 years. Something could happen that could essentially make the whole industry be like, no, we don't want to do that anymore. But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. Really, don't see it happening.
I think it's here to stay. I think it's here for stay for a long period now.
I hope it is. It's such a great industry to be in and to watch, and everything about it is just amazing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Another question did just come in from the Cardinal Sport, and he asks, at Esports Wales, given the increasing popularity of esports, do you think that, like in football, money should be injected into the grassroots esports? For example, all competitions have to give a percentage into grassroots. My straight up answer is yes. Not as simple as that, but yes. It should be, but you'd have to then like it, because esports happens like multinationally. Like, I know a lot of the UK scene does put money towards grassroots scene. I don't know how much of it, but I know a lot of them do pump money into the grassroots. it'd be a lot harder to do on the international scene. Yeah, we could try and push for it in the UK and Wales, certainly, but the scope of that question is a bit vague. Like in the UK and Wales, I think it's certainly possible and it certainly could be pushed.
But a lot of the countries don't have like what we are.
Yes, exactly.
And at the moment, we're not there yet, even with us. But yeah, my answer is yes. I think my answer is always going to be yes for that one. It's just a case of how do you go about it? What's the best way to go about it? And I'm sure sport has the same problems. And how you sort of deliver sort of a percentage of that to to what esports are you injecting money to? Sort of how which one are you sort of pushing, and then is it sort of based on money? Is it based on viewers? Is it based on there's the new game on the block? It's a lot of
it's a complicated subject, certainly.
Yeah, but I think more investment for grassroots, especially, is needed in countries like Wales, because you've definitely got people wanting to play esports games. But you just haven't. They need the support. They need the sort of coaching and stuff to play on these stages. Like even just doing a show like this, and things like Esports Wales are doing, it's giving people the opportunity to try out stuff. Like with Foukwan, you was able to cast the game. I don't know if you've casted before. But he was able to cast the game last week, and you could try it out. You might end up saying, "Oh my god, I love this! I want to do it again and again." And as you build up, you'll build up your experience, and then going forward, you could easily keep on going and then be sort of on the stage casting something like the Fortnight World Cup. But you sort of, without getting that thing of trying it out, you're never going to see people sort of move up and sort of progress, and that's what we need more in Wales, because otherwise it's going to you'll get the odd person making it big, but it's not going to be the support.
Either of you two, Baeger or Foukwan, have any input?
I think your point is interesting about the distribution of funding, and given that I'm a politics student, I should probably delve into just a tiny bit of political stuff here. But yeah, it is about that kind of in any organization when it comes, and any kind of movement it comes to, and kind of you'll get pressure groups and you'll get kind of political movements, and there's dangers of entering territories of like tyranny of the minority or majority, where because a lot of people like Fortnite, all the funding goes to Fortnite, and then you're left with some games which may be enjoyed by audiences and create for some good viewing, getting left with pennies. So it's about kind of organizations like Esports Wales maybe kind of guiding government ministers and such in a way to say that, okay, how do you implement this in a way which is manageable and fair for everyone?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To your point, I think I kind of would liken it to kind of the way where it is in more traditional sports, where you do tend to get, it depends, it depends on the country, but you get, like in America, a lot of funding is put into, obviously American football, and over here you get a lot of funding put into like a standard football, and so it's just about kind of guiding. It's partly about guiding, government bodies towards, what could be, a very popular kind of esport, but it's also about kind of, what's, I guess, practical as well. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to answer in but generally, I would say yes.
Yeah, straight up, yes. I think that's a general consensus from anyone in the esports industry. Just yes. The technicalities and all of the things that are required to get that in place is a huge thing that I don't think anyone even in the UK is at the point to be able to do that. But yeah, I think that's all the questions we have. There is a little bit of extra news that I remembered as we were talking about things then, and it comes out of the the Rocket League scene. Triple Trouble, as you all know, Tadpole, a famous Welsh Rocket League pro, Sadly, they've disbanded for the current moment in time due to some roster changes that I'm not going to go into the drama of it. Some roster changes that have forced them to forfeit their place in RLCS 8. So we will not be seeing them take part in the Season 8 of Rocket League Championships, which is very sad because it was great to see Tadpole and Triple Trouble on that stage at RLCS 7 finals and take that, the fifth place? Yeah, fifth place in the, fifth to eighth place, that's what it was, in the RLCS 7 finals. And I really hope that it doesn't, I had a conversation with Shwmae about it the other day whilst playing, I think we were playing PUBG, and we were just having a conversation about it. And it's just we're hoping that it doesn't get to Tadpole so much that he doesn't want to continue with his career, because I seen him put out a tweet like he said he's been working at this for the past 3 years, and then all of a sudden it's come to naught, and it just seems as if it's like, why do I bother continue? I hope that isn't the case.
I think he's got a lot of support around him, and I think he's got avenues which he can go down, which isn't just playing. But I don't think his career is over just yet.
I don't think it is, but it's certainly, like, if I was in that position, I'd be so demotivated. Like, I wouldn't know why I would want to continue if, like, 3 years of, like, grinding away, just doing everything I can to get to that stage, and then in the matter of in the time space of like a week, it just all comes unraveled.
Yeah,
it's a very sad situation, and I really do hope we see some more of him in the very near future. Any closing notes from anyone else on this week's episode?
Well, I think save points open tomorrow from, was it
1 p.m. till 7 p.m.
1 till 7. So if you're in the Blackwood area, pop down and check them out. Tell them EsportsWales as you saw it on EsportsWales Weekly, and then see if they can get on and actually get them speaking.
Yeah, definitely.
Doors open. I think that's it from me. I'm looking forward to the next week of esports stuff. I'm looking forward to the ACS game, AHC games. And seeing how we do. We got a bit more practice to get in, but that should be quite good. And that's all from me.
Yeah, in terms of the All Heroes Cup games, they are taking place this Tuesday, both at 7 p.m. They will be streamed on 2 different channels. Not decided which one's going to be on the Esports Wales channel yet, but one will be on the Esports Wales channel, one will be on either John's channel or Owen's channel, respectively. If you do want to stop by, make sure you check out the calendar. All of our events are on there, including our community nights. Don't forget, we do have our charity page still open. We have our merch, we have the giveaway, we have our socials. All of the things that you may need are in chat for you right now. And I'd like to say thank you to Baeger, to Foukwan, and to John for joining me this week. I have been JakeyBoyPro, and thank you all for being here.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.